Alright guys, welcome to this episode of
HeadtoHead
Battles.
Battles.
Okay, so in today's episode, we're going to empty out our wallets and put money back into it because we're doing our top 5 budget alternatives to expensive staples.
Yes, we are, because none of us, especially at this era, especially at this time, we're broke.
Yeah, so Corona has put a lot of people out of jobs.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we still love and play Yu-Gi-Oh!
But it ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap.
It
It for sure ain't cheap. So we're gonna go over our top 5 budget
budget
alternatives to our top 5 staples.
Yes.
And then do like an honorary mention.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
We shall do that.
Yeah, so let's get started right away. The first card on our list is evenly matched. So evenly matched is, I think, sitting around $35. Like average.
Yeah.
Average $35.
Yeah.
What does evenly match do? Evenly match, basically, after your battle phase, once your battle phase ends, you can activate it either from the hand or on the field, depending on whose turn it is. And your opponent has to banish cards so they control the same amount you do.
Yep.
So if you have no cards on the field, except evenly matched,
They gotta get rid of you clear the board.
yeah, you literally clear their board.
Yeah.
So evenly matched is one of those cards where it doesn't really have a replacement card, but there are a lot of cards that have similar effects.
Yeah. So, like what Sisu literally just said, this is a list. Nothing's gonna have the same exact effect.
Unfortunately.
Hence, why the cards are expensive. So,
Right.
These are literally just budget ideas that just do parts.
Yeah, more or less.
that.
More or less
Yeah.
helps you clear the board, right?
Yeah.
So my favorite is Storming Mirror Force. So Storming Mirror Force is a super cheap card due to its multiple printings. And basically, when you're playing up against a combo deck, they do leave a lot of monsters in attack mode.
Yeah.
And it's a non-targeting send back to hand.
Yeah.
So it bypasses a lot of those boss monsters.
Right.
So Storming Mirror Force is, I think, under $1 for most of the prints.
It should be. Like for the commons.
Commons and even the gold rarities.
Oh, the gold warriors are very nice though.
Yeah, but they're very cheap. And they essentially do the same thing, right? Because it's in the battle phase. It wipes the board of your opponent's monsters. But they do get sent to graveyard as opposed to being banished. So what's another alternative to evenly matched?
I mean, I researched a bunch, but I still wanna kind of go lean towards the OG cards too. Dark Hole is still a thing. I have seen people still play that.
Yeah, on your turn you can definitely activate Dark Hole from hand.
It is still a thing. So honestly, I do want to go into that. There's also like Dark Ruler No More. Some people were saying like the whole Kaiju package.
Kaiju's are good. Yeah, it's
Kaijus are
definitely a
good.
good removal against boss monsters.
Yeah, but so that's pretty much my list. But I mean, I would love to have an evenly matched.
I have 2. How many do you have?
Oh no, I don't know.
You have 0. You have 0.
You have to zoom into the camera.
I did. Next on our list is Infinite Impermanence. So, luckily we pulled 5 in our dual overload
We did.
opening.
We did.
But Infinite Impermanence is sitting around $20, I think, for every copy.
I'm still doing fact checks. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So I think Infinite Impermanence is sitting around $20 per every copy, and it's essentially a hand trap, right? Because if you control no cards, you can activate it from your hand and negate a monster effect.
Yeah.
But if you have it already set and then you negate, you can negate that effect, and everything in that column, the spell and traps, are negated as well. So if you're not paying attention, you and or your opponent can actually like set spells or activate spells in that column, and then it'll have it negated.
Yep.
Right? So
there's nothing.
Yeah, there's not really much.
Yeah. There is nothing that's gonna compare to that card.
Yeah, Effect Veiler is probably your next best choice because it is a hand trap which does negate monster effects.
Also, you think that's the next best choice for you?
Yeah, I think it's not as cheap as our second card on the alternative, but it's definitely one that you can use to get the same effect. Right?
Yeah.
But it's just not as good because you can't get that negation in the column like you can with Imperm.
So my choice was Forbidden Chalice. Very cheap, guys. It's only like a couple. It's only 23 cents.
It's a quarter.
It's a quarter. Less than a quarter.
Wow. Yeah.
It's less than a quarter. Like we said, it's not the best out there, but you still target one face of card.
One face of card.
Yeah, and then you have the effects negated, but that monster gains 400 attack.
Yeah, but
if you still have your effects negated, and like you've seen like even like Cyber Dragons
or Appaloosa.
Yeah, like their monsters. Huh?
You could Forbidden Chalice and Appaloosa.
You can Forbidden Chalice and Appaloosa.
Yeah, and because it's a spell card, you can activate it right away from hand.
You can
as well, going second.
Yeah.
right? Usually spells and monster effects and hand traps are quicker than trap cards because trap cards you have to set and wait a turn. Right.
Like we said, it's just budget alternatives, and I'd rather pay like 75 cents versus
Right.
oh, $60. Because you guys out there, like we're not like up there. Like you're basically like some people like $60 is their entire budget for the entire deck.
For the whole deck, yeah, for sure.
This thing's like 3 cards.
For $60.
Like that's insane.
Yep.
I've seen decks go up to like $1,000.
I have heroes. I'm talking to you, my guy. Next card on the list is Lightning Storm. So
we have never pulled one actually.
That's because we didn't open much Ignition Assault.
Yeah. No, actually, no, we did open a bunch, even in regionals.
Did we? Oh, actually, yeah, we did.
Yeah, even in regionals.
We did.
But no one pulled.
So Lightning Storm, what does it do? So basically, you can't control any cards on field.
Yeah.
And it's basically a Raigeki and a Harpy's Feather Duster in one card. So it takes up a lot less space in your side deck.
Yes.
Right? It's 3 cards as opposed to 6.
Yes.
And on top of that, in terms of utility and flexibility, it's just a lot better, right?
Right.
So Lightning Storm is about like $130 a copy on average.
Fact check. I'm gonna check again because it fluctuates.
Yeah, but it's always over $100, no matter what.
I never know. But anyways, yeah.
So our budget alternative choices would be either Raigeki or Twin Twisters.
Yeah, but like you said, that's 6 slots versus 3. So
exactly.
Yeah. Then there's nothing else that really.
Yeah, like that can be a Lightning Storm. Because like when Lightning Storm first came out, it was like they were like, oh my god, it's Raigeki and Harpy's Feather in the same one, so they're not gonna unban Harpy's Feather Duster. They need to unban Harpy's Feather Duster solely due to because Lightning Storm is a card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So up next we have Pot of Extravagance. So, Pot of Extravagance is a really good card for back row decks that don't really utilize their extra deck, right? So it's an easy draw too.
Yes.
And for those, especially not using an extra deck, so Altergeist and Subterra Gurus, it's a really good way to just dig deeper into your deck. And because of that fact, Pot of Extravagance is around $100.
Yeah, it's 85.
Oh, so it's about $85 and it hovers around 100. So average is about 100. There are a lot of cards that are a cheaper variant to Pot of Extrav, and a lot of in-house archetype cards always do draw too.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are cards that are as generic as, such as like Pot of Desires.
Yeah.
Right, Pot of Avarice now is at 3.
Yeah, it's like their sister brother.
No, the pots, right?
The pots.
You know, you have cards that are in archetype like Flaming Buffalo draws 2.
You've seen my Shadals.
Yeah,
I have
Beast.
so many
Beast draws 2. Yeah, there's a lot of cards that really do draw deeper into your deck, but you have those in archetype cards, and on top of that, you have like generic pot cards that can help you draw even deeper into your deck. Right. So, I mean, there are a lot of budget options, but it depends on the deck you are playing.
Right.
And unfortunately, if you're playing, like Geist or Subterra Guru, they really don't have an in-archetype card to draw deeper into the deck, solely due to the fact that they do search a lot. But unfortunately, if you are playing decks like that and you want to play full power, then Extrav is probably your best bet.
Right.
Yeah.
You can use this in your Grand Maji decks here, right?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. All right. So our next card is Nibiru. Okay. Nibiru is always around a $14 to $15 card.
Yeah. Right now it's 13.
Yeah, right now it's 13. It's the lowest I've seen it in a while, like after the bump. There are a lot of cheaper alternatives
to
Nibiru. And I feel like there are a lot of cheaper alternatives that are also better.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
For example, Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode is a lot cheaper. And let me explain to you why it's better than Nibiru. So, with Nibiru, if you don't have it in your hand, it's useless, right? But if you draw it as your 6th card, now it becomes even doubly useless because you can't use it. It's a brick in your hand. But Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode, even if you draw it as your 6th card, you can still use it as long as they have 3 monsters on the field, right?
Because you can't spell,
because Nibiru you can't special summon because you can only special summon it when your opponent has finished summoning 5 or more times, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, Sphere mode is essentially the better card. But the one way you can argue that it's not a better card is if you do have Nibiru in hand, and they only end with 2 monsters on board, then you can't Sphere mode. So in that sense, Nibiru is just like Lightning Storm in a sense, because let's say they end on 2 monsters, right? Then Lava Golem would be your other budget option to Nibiru.
You took my card, okay.
So Lava Golem you can use to tribute 2 monsters on your opponent's side of the field, as opposed to 3 on Winged Dragon of Sphere. Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode, right?
Yeah.
But Nibiru is kind of like that utility card. If you have it in hand, you know, it could be better than Sphere mode or Lava Golem.
Yeah.
All right?
Because Madolche.
Madolche.
They spam out.
Yeah, they just
all these cards. Like I've seen like Susu like play on like YJ Pro because we don't have anyone around us that play Madolche.
No Madolche.
Well, not yet. Let's see if Angelic goes down. Anyways, decks like that. I mean, you just Nibiru them like that one turn. It's nuts. Well, for decks like that, it works. For decks like that,
like decks like Heroes, especially like Heroes' biggest weakness is probably Nibiru. Yeah. So for our honorary mention, So for honorary mention right now, Borrelsword Dragon is climbing back up in price.
It is.
When the Megatins first came out, Borrelsword actually went down all the way to like sub $10.
It did.
Like around the $10 mark, but it shot right back up to, and it's sitting around 20.
Right now it's exactly like 19 something, so with shipping, it shoots over 20.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously, Borrelode Dragon has a very similar effect to Borrelsword Dragon.
The little brother.
Yeah.
The little brother.
It's not as strong in the OTK.
No.
But it definitely does something very similar. And Borrelode is, I think, $1 or $2. Because there's so many printings, right?
Yeah, right now it's sitting at, with shipping, about $2.
Okay.
About $2.
So you're saving 1/10 of the price.
Yeah. The
biggest difference between a budget player and just a competitive player is they don't really care how much they spend, per se.
Yeah.
Right? Like a truly competitive player, like a ranked competitive player.
Yeah.
I know like a lot of hero players out there spend over like $800-900 for decks.
And you guys should know this.
Right. But there are players out there, especially like like a budget salad players. Now that Sign and Mining was reprinted in Overload, it is a little cheaper, but for most...
Which we did a video.
Yeah, which we did a video on.
Link somewhere.
Yep. And Salamine Grace for the entire deck, extra deck included, like minus Pyro Phoenix and Mining, is like sub $50. Yeah. And sometimes that's like the entire budget of
players.
Like sub-budget players.
Yeah. Because it's not like when we go to locals, like there's no age limit. We see like these little, not little kids. I still want to respect them. Not little kids, but younger.
Yeah, younger duelists.
That come in. And obviously, they ain't going to be paying like hundreds or like $200 for like decks, you know?
They're not. And, you have to realize, even casual players, just because you're a casual player doesn't mean you're a budget player. Casual players, like Dark Magician is a casual deck, and that deck is hella expensive.
How much is Souls right now still?
It's $85 a copy. So you're looking at $250+ for a playset of Souls.
Yeah. Which
is 5 times the budget of an entire deck for a budget player.
Yeah.
So you have to understand why lists and videos like this exist. And don't look down on budget players. I know a bunch of budget players that are godly at this game.
Yeah.
Like luckily because we are a Yugi tubing channel, a lot of our expenses go towards cards. And we have like staples and very expensive cards in here.
Yeah.
And we still lose to budget players.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So
it's not about the cards.
Yes, it's about the heart of the cards, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And also brains.
Yeah, and the brains for sure. So if you enjoyed this list, make sure you subscribe, like, and follow.
Join the our ever-growing squad.
Yeah,
I just want to give our shout out to like OGs.
Yeah, it's my Kirby lubricated sword.
Yes.
We have some of the newer ones like Will and D-Des, and we have a bunch of people. Oh my gosh.
And Brian.
Yeah. And big shout out to Nim and Simo.
Oh my god, you guys are super sweet.
For showing your support, guys.
Sweet. Yeah.
And MBT also gotta get that rematch. Gotta get that rematch from our Locals Experience episode 3.
After this whole thing ends.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's all get together.
Yeah.
Have like a...
Let's have lunch or dinner.
Let's have lunch. We're putting it out there. Wait, where do they live? Well, we're on the East Coast.
Yeah, we're on the East Coast. We're in New Jersey.
Coast.
So Nim and MBT. I think Simo's in Cali, so that might be a little hard for him. But Nim and MBT. Yeah. If you guys want to have friendly 2v2 duel and some lunch or dinner, we'll be down for that. We freaking love you guys. From here at Team HeadtoHead Battles, this is Susu.
This is Jen.
Signing out.